This is the second nugget in our series of the Fit for Life program. The Fit for Life program comes to you from Karma Yoga for 21st century. So we need to understand a little bit about what do we intend to do in this program. In any learning program or learning and development program, the first thing that is done is to set the objectives, and that is what we are trying to do, because today is just the second nugget in this series. We call this a nugget because it's a small chunk of wisdom. So we don't really call it a wisdom nugget, but in English we might call it a wisdom nugget. In our other traditional Indian languages, we call it a pragya khand, which really means pragya means wisdom and khand means a nugget, a small chunk. So in this nugget today, we are going to discuss what really is our intention or our objective or our goal for the program itself. So let's focus on the word fit, because the whole name of the program is Fit for Life. Let's focus on the word fit. What does fit mean? Fit means something that fits snugly, it sits easily and comfortably in a certain space, in a certain situation. So something fits you well, like your dress, if it fits you well, or any other item which has to be placed somewhere in a certain situation, we say it fits well when we know that there is no dis-ease there is no lack of comfort, that the item actually sits very snugly in that environment, in that situation. So that's really what we are trying to intend when we are talking about this program also. We are trying to fit ourselves very snugly. Snugly means situate ourselves very comfortably and easily in the variety of situations that we find ourselves in life. So that is why fit for life. Now the situations need not always be very elaborate situations. The situation can be a very minute, a very, very small, insignificant kind of situation. For example, if you are, let's say, in the kitchen, you are cooking something and you need to reach out to the top shelf to get something from there. And it's like a little farther away. So you're stretching yourself to kind of take that small can or container that's sitting on the top shelf. So you're stretching yourself. Now that's a situation. Just grabbing that small container from the top shelf is a life situation, a situation that life has presented to you. It's very small, insignificant, minor. You probably wouldn't even notice it as a situation. But as you're trying to stretch, if you get a pull on your shoulders or somewhere, and then you are in pain, then you remember that the situation has become major. So the point is that the situation can be minor or the situation can be a huge one, like the entire pandemic that we face today. That's a big situation that confronts the entire world, so to say. So situation can be minor or major, doesn't matter. Whatever the situation that life presents us, are we able to find ourselves comfortable and easy in that situation? That's the objective. So we can fit into that situation very snugly. So how do we do that now? Life, for that we have to really understand life. When we say fit for life, our life is made up of, generally speaking, these four aspects of it, or four dimensions. We have our body, our physical body, within which we experience life, and then we have energy flowing in this body. When the energy stops, then we say we are dead, so there is no more life. And then our mind is there, which does all its thinking and rationalizing and aspiring and hoping and all of that, and a mixture of this energy and mind would be called emotions, feelings, all of that together, and then we have this awareness, this thing called consciousness. We are aware that this is happening. So all this together, our physical self, our energetic self, our mental self, and our spiritual self, which is really the consciousness part. All of this together are the four dimensions in which we kind of technically try to talk about life in the Karma Yoga for 21st century sense. So that is what we try to tune in order to fit. So we find ourselves we tune these 4 aspects of ourselves to sit snugly in any situation. So those are the sadhanas. I talked about sadhana in our first session, first nugget. Various sadhanas that we do, that we practice in order to ensure that we can sit very easily and comfortably no matter what the situation life presents us with. Now, what is important to understand when we use the term fit for life, we also are talking about life in its entirety, which means we generally experience life in terms of birth and death. So, which means that the entire lifespan that we have, which is from birth to death, we should feel easy and comfortable throughout this time period. So we cannot really say that, oh, I was very fit, when I was 18 or when I was in my youth, I used to run the marathon, and now it's, I'm 70, so I have, all this is gone and I'm not so fit. Or when I was very healthy, but now I have cancer, so I am not fit. None of that. No matter what your age is, what the situation is, you should be able to situate yourself very easily and comfortably. Find yourself, you should be at ease with yourself. Ease does not mean no worries about, doing nothing about stuff that has to be done something about. All the time we are trying to do something about everything that is going on. So it's not inaction. It's not just relaxing without any purpose. There is a very strong purpose behind everything, and there's a lot of action. Even action doesn't mean activity. Even when you're at peace, there is a kind of stuff going on there. Even when nothing is going on, there is stuff there. That nothingness has stuff. As long as there may be nothing going on in your physical self or your energetic self or even your mental self, but that itself is something that is going on in your spiritual self. So all that together makes it a very dynamic program. It's not a static program. That's why we call it Karma Yoga for 21st century. Dynamic doesn't even mean that nothing changes over a century. The term 21st century just symbolizes the dynamism or the temporalness of this, the dependence on time, the dynamism contained in it. So every day we will try and refine this, change this to suit the different times that are coming up. But that really is the objective of of the Fit for Life program. Tan, Prana, Man, Chit, we say, which means physical, energetic, mental and spiritual, these dimensions through which we experience life. We try to ensure that we can sit we have a snug fit, we can sit very easily and comfortably. In ancient yogic scriptures, Maharishi Patanjali actually defined asana as Sahaja Sukham Asanam, which means what is an asana, what is a posture. A posture is the manner in which you establish yourself, even if it's for a little while, where you're easy and comfortable with who you are. When you can take that posture, then he said that you have accepted an asana. So that kind of gives us a cue about what we are talking about, although we are not going to only limit ourselves to the asanas part of yoga. Karma Yoga is a whole lot of stuff, and Karma Yoga for 21st century really connects all the ancient stuff with all the modern and everything that's going to come in the future. So I think I've been able to give you a sense of what Fit for Life means and what we are trying to get here, more so and more of this as we go along.